Hello students, in this session you are going to learn 11th standard computer science first chapter introduction to computers. The main concept you are going to learn in this session: generations of computer, basic operations of computer, components of your computer and their functions, and booting of your computer. Okay, so first let us see what is computer. A computer is an electronic device that takes unprocessed raw data as an input from the user and processes it under the control of set of instructions and produces the result, that means output, and save it for future use. So what is computer? A computer is an electronic device. It accepts data from the user and processes it and produces the output for future use. Okay. Next let us see father of your computer. Who is the father of computer? Charles Babbage. Charles Babbage is considered to be father of a computer. He found the computer in the year 1837. Its name is analytical engine. This analytical engine contains an arithmetic and logic unit, basic flow control and integrated memory. It having three parts. What are they? ALU. ALU means arithmetic logic unit, basic flow control and integrated memory. Okay. Next topic is generation of computers. There are 6 generations of computers. Let us see them one by one. Okay. So first let us see first generation computers. Its period is 1940 to 1956. Main component used in first generation is vacuum tubes. The demerits and merits of first generation computers are big in size. It consumed more power and malfunctioned due to overheat. Only machine language was used. Some of the example of first generation computers: ENIAC, EDVAC, UNIVAC. These are the commonly used computers in first generation. Okay. Here ENIAC means electronic numerical integrator and calculator. It was invented by J. Presper Eckert and John Markley. This computer was called as first digital computer because it was fully functional. Okay. And next let us see second generation. Its period is 1956 to 1964. The main component used transistor. Its demerits and merits are: it is smaller compared to first generation. It produced less heat compared to first generation. It consumed less power compared to first generation. Okay. In this generation, punched cards were used to give input. Here, multi-programming operating system is used. Assembly language was introduced. Okay. Some of the second generation computers are IBM 1401, IBM 1620, UNIVAC 1108. Okay. Let us see next third generation. Its period is 1964 to 1971. The main component used in third generation is integrated circuits. Its merits and demerits are: computers were smaller, faster and more reliable. Okay, computers were smaller and faster and more reliable. It consumed less power. High level languages were used, which means C, C++. Okay. Some of the third generation computers are IBM 360 series, Honeywell 6000 series, etc. Okay. And fourth generation, its period is 1971 to 1980. The main component used in fourth generation, microprocessor, which means very large scale integrated circuit, VLSI. Okay. Its merits and demerits are: it is very smaller and faster when comparing previous generation computers, and portable computers were introduced in fourth generation. Okay. Some of the examples for fourth generation computers are microcomputers such as IBM and Apple were developed. And next let us see fifth generation. Its period is 1982 till date today. Okay. The main component used in 5th generation ultra large scale integration, which means ULSI. The main merits and demerits are parallel processing and superconductors was introduced. Computer size was drastically reduced. It can recognize images and graphics also. Artificial intelligence was introduced in this generation. This generation computers able to solve high complex problems. Okay. And the next is 6th generation. In future, the main component of 6th generation is artificial intelligence. Its demerits and merits are parallel and distributed computing, which means networking. Okay. Computers have become smarter, faster and smaller when comparing previous generation computers. Development of robotics and natural language processing, which means NLP. It is nothing but it is a component of artificial intelligence. It provides the ability to develop the computer program to understand human language. That is called NLP, natural language processing. Development of voice recognition software. Voice recognition software means what? It is nothing but it is a software. It is used to recognize our voice. Okay. So this is about generations of computers. Next let us see what is data. What is data? Data is defined as an unprocessed collection of raw facts suitable for communication, interpretation or processing. For example, details of a person is given, which means 134, 16, Kavita, C are the data. Okay. Which means your name, your roll number, your age, your grade is called as data, raw facts. Okay. This will not give any meaningful message. So what do you mean by information? Information is a collection of facts that is processed to give meaningful order or structured information. For example, Kavita is 16 years old. This is the example for information. Kavita is 16 years old is the information. This information is about Kavita and conveys some meaning. So, this information gives some meaningful message, but data will not give any meaningful message. Okay. So, what do you mean by data processing? The conversion of data into information is called data processing. Okay. And next let us see components of computer. The computer is the combination of hardware and software. What do you mean by hardware? Hardware is the physical component of your computer like motherboard, memory devices, monitor, keyboard, etc. Okay. But what is software? Software is the set of programs or instructions. Okay. This is the diagram of components of your computer. What are the main components of computer? Input unit, output unit, control unit, ALU, internal memory, main memory, secondary storage. Okay. So let us see them one by one. What do you mean by input unit? The input unit takes the input and processing will be done in central processing unit and the output unit produces the output. Okay. So what is the use of input unit? It is used to feed any form of data to computer which can be stored in the memory unit for further processing. What are the examples for input unit? Keyboard, mouse, etc. Okay. So what do you mean by central processing unit? Central processing unit is nothing but CPU. It is the major component which interprets and executes the software instructions. It also controls the operation of all other components such as memory, input and output units. It accepts binary data as input and processes the data according to the instructions and provide the result as output. Okay. It has three components. What are they? Control unit, arithmetic and logic unit, which means ALU, and memory unit. So CPU has three components. What are they? Control unit, arithmetic and logic unit and memory unit. So let us see them one by one. What do you mean by arithmetic and logic unit? It is nothing but ALU. It is the part of the CPU It performs arithmetic operations such as addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, and it performs logical operations. Okay, it performs arithmetic operations and logical operations. Its result will be stored in the internal memory of CPU. Okay, it can be used to store the result of arithmetic and logical operation in CPU. Okay, this internal memory is available within the CPU. After the calculation, the result will be stored in this internal memory. Okay. So, what is the use of control unit? It controls flow of data between CPU and memory and I/O devices. The control unit controls the entire operation of a computer. Okay. Next, output unit. Output unit is any hardware component that conveys information to users in an understandable form, which means we can get the output through the output devices. Some of the examples for output devices are monitor, printer, etc. Okay. And next, memory unit is divided into two types. What are they? Primary memory and secondary memory. Primary memory is nothing but main memory. It is used to temporarily store the programs. And secondary memory is used to store the data permanently. So, primary memory is called as volatile and secondary memory is called non-volatile. In primary memory, the content is lost when the power supply is switched off. But in secondary memory, the content is available even after the power supply is switched off. Okay, because secondary memory is permanent storage memory, but primary memory is the temporary storage memory. The example of primary memory is random access memory, RAM. Okay, this is the example of main memory, which is primary memory. And the example of secondary memory is hard disk and CD-ROM, DVD-ROM. These are the examples of secondary memory. Okay. Next topic is input and output devices. We can give input through input devices and we can get output through output devices. So first let us see input devices. Keyboard. It is the most common input device. It having letters, numbers, special characters and alphabet and numeric keys, function keys and so on. And the next input device is mouse. It is a pointing device used to control the movement of the cursor on the display screen. It can be used to select icons, menus, command buttons and so on. You can use mouse for click, move, double click, right click, drag and drop. Okay. There are different types of mouse available. What are they? Mechanical mouse, optical and laser mouse, air mouse, 3D mouse, tactile mouse, ergonomic mouse, gaming mouse. Next input device is scanner. This scanner is used to enter the information directly to the computer. This device works like Xerox machine. It converts any type of printed or written information including photographs into digital format. And the next fingerprint scanner. It is a fingerprint recognition device. It is used for computer security. It is a very safe and convenient device for security instead of using passwords. Okay. And the next input device is trackball. It is similar to mouse. One ball is attached with it. The user moves the ball directly. You can move that ball in various directions to navigate the screen movements. Okay. And next retinal scanner. It is nothing but it is a scanner. It performs a retinal scan, which is a biometric technique that uses unique patterns on a person's retinal blood vessels. Next, light pen. It is a pointing device shaped like a pen and it is connected to a monitor. The tip of the light pen contains a light sensitive element which detects a light from the screen, enabling the computer to identify the location of the pen on the screen. It is mainly used for drawing, which means you can directly draw onto the screen. Okay. And the next input device is optical character reader. It is a device which detects characters printed or written on a paper with the optical character reader. A user can scan a page from a book. The computer will recognize the characters in the page as letters and punctuation marks. Okay. Next, barcode or QR code reader. Barcode is nothing but a pattern printed in lines of different thickness. The barcode reader scans the information on the barcodes and transmits to the computer for further processing. This system gives fast and error-free entry of information into the computer. This code can be read by camera and processed to interpret the image. Okay. Next input device is voice input system. Microphone is used as voice input device. It captures the voice data and sends it to the computer. And next, digital camera. It captures images or videos directly in the digital form. And next, touch screen. It is a display device that allows user to interact with a computer by using finger. Touch screens are used in variety of devices such as computers, laptops, monitors, smartphones, tablets and cash registers. And next here, it is a device for signaling by hand by the way pressing one or more switches. It is different from a keyboard which has no board but keys are arranged in a cluster. And next let us see output devices. First output device is monitor. Monitor is the most commonly used output device to display the information. It looks like a TV. The monitors can display the text or images in black and white colors, or it display the images in multicolors also. There are many types of monitors available such as cathode ray tube and liquid crystal display, which means LCD, and light emitting diodes, which means LED. And the monitor works with the VGA. VGA means video graphics array card. Okay. This video graphics array card helps the keyboard to communicate with the screen. And the next output device is plotter. Plotter is an output device that used to produce graphical output on papers. It uses single color or multicolor pens to draw pictures. Okay. And next output device is printer. Printers are used to print the information on papers. There are two types of printers. What are they? Impact printers and non-impact printers. What are the examples for impact printers? Dot matrix printer and line matrix printers. And what are the examples for non-impact printers? Laser printers and inkjet printers. And what do you mean by impact printer? The impact printers having striking mechanism, but non-impact printers do not use striking mechanism. Speed and quality of non-impact printers are better than impact printers. Okay. And next output device is speaker. It produces voice output, which means audio. It can be used in very common places, which means airlines, schools, banks, railway stations and etc. And next output device is multimedia projectors. Multimedia projectors are used to produce computer output on a big screen. These are used to display presentation in meeting halls or in classrooms. Okay. So this is about input and output devices. Next let us see the last topic, that is booting of computer. Booting is nothing but startup of computer. Okay. Mainly the operating system is a basic software that makes the computer to work. When a computer is switched on, there is no information in its RAM. At the same time, in ROM, the pre-written program called power on self-test will be executed first. This pre-written program, which means post power on self-test program, checks if the devices like RAM, keyboard and etc. are connected properly and ready to operate. If these devices are connected properly and ready to operate, then BIOS, which means basic input output system, gets executed. Okay, this process is called booting. After that, a program called bootstrap loader transfers OS, operating system, from the hard disk into main memory. After that, the operating system gets loaded and will be executed. The booting process is divided into two types. What are they? Cold booting and warm booting. When the system starts from initial state, which means when we are switched on the computer, we call it as cold booting. It is also known as hard booting. Okay, which means when the user presses the power button, the instructions are read from the ROM to initiate the booting process. So what do you mean by warm booting? When the system restarts or when reset button is pressed, we call it as warm booting. It is also known as soft booting. Okay, so this is about booting of computer. I hope you understand. Thank you, students.